welcome back. We're here today with a Toro Recycler. I'm going to show you an issue that I see with these 20 or 30 times a year that's very dangerous. I'm going to show you what causes that and then how to fix the issue afterwards. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. The mowers, if you look on this body style deck on a Toro Recycler 22-inch, it's all a stamped deck. So this is just stamped metal. It's not anything too stout. But if you look, as you're moving the arm up and down, this whole area is flexing. It's this cutout for the side chute. The whole deck's trying to do this at that cutout. I'll show you again. As I go up, this whole area moves in. As I go down, the whole area moves out. And that's just putting that pressure. So what'll end up happening is this will crack. Either here or here, right in the middle, depending, like this other one has. This one here, as we look, we can see how big of a gap is there and what's happened because of this issue, right under the flap. So then what'll happen is as you're mowing, if you hit this on something or contort this in a way that this wants to come to the inside, the blade will actually grab onto this metal and it'll take that piece off and shoot it out from there. Now let me tell you how I know this happens, because my wife was mowing and our mower is a Toro Recycler 22 with this same deck, and it happened to her. Hit her in the ankle. Didn't have to go to the hospital or anything, but it was a pretty bad cut because this piece came off. We had just had it maybe, I don't know, a few months before and didn't notice anything as far as that goes. It can happen really quick though. It puts a lot of stress on that area right there. Then what'll happen is at the back, at these corners on both sides, where the deck attaches to the handle, right at the bottom, it'll start to also crack. Right in here. Now these haven't really gotten quite far enough, but you can look at yours and make sure that's not the case. If so, you'll also need to address those issues. First thing we need to do to take care of this is remove the side chute to get it out of the way so we can see what's going on. And your first instinct is to want to tip it over. Well, you can't tip it to that way very high. You can tip it a little bit to work on it, but if you go too high, you're going to cause oil to flow into the air filter sometimes. About like that, get it up off the ground high enough. And this is a 3/8 bolt that goes straight through. There's two of them, and it'll snap back as you're doing that. As we put it back together, I'll show you how to do that part. Now here we've got to fix that metal. The problem is if you go any more on the inside, the deck likes to hit. So you can't build up anything really on the inside. It's a very delicate spot to weld, and it's dangerous if you don't fix it. Get it cleaned up first. After you've got everything cleaned up, nice spots to weld both on the inside and on the back side, I like to just get a piece of scrap metal, something that'll bridge the gap, so when we weld on the back side we can get a nice good penetration into both sides. There's hardly any metal there. If you don't do something like that, a lot of times it'll just blow right through. I've got a magnet on the back side. What I'll do is I'll kind of line it up and hold it there, and then I'll push it up just a tad bit and pinch it with my clamp. And I'm just going to tag that on the side, and then we'll adjust from there if we need to. Seems like that's looking pretty good. Got the gas on now, so that might work a little bit better. Let's Still seems to want to go up just a hair. Fill that gap. Looking good. I'll turn it over and we'll do the back side. Once you think you're most of the way done, you can put your side chute or your mulch plug back up on here and see how it fits when it's down on there. If it fits well, then you're ready to go ahead and reinstall it. If it doesn't fit well, you know you got some more work to do. Ours fits well. Some of them have a lock at the bottom. If it has a lock, you want to make sure it'll be able to lock in. We'll let this cool down a little bit. Nice coat of paint. Got the paint dried out there for a little while. Again, what I like to do here is just kind of grab a little bit at the edge as I'm putting it on and push straight down. Doesn't look like it's going to work if you're on a unsecure area. Doesn't look like that paint's quite all the way dry. Pretty close. Now that it's down there, you can start them on the back side. You just line up the holes, you can see them as you're looking. Thought I had that one started. Definitely got the other one started. Alright. Now that they're started, tip it up. I think I need to tip it up really. Let's see. Open it up. That one on. That one back on, and there we are. Everything is fixed. Again, this is an issue that we see over and over again every year. Another one we have, same issue, broken in a different spot. Looks like it was recently broken. We'll just bring them in for a tune-up and we see that. Any dealer or anything like that is going to recommend you replace the deck. They're probably not going to weld the deck like we do. If you weld this deck, know what you're doing when you're welding. You can see my weld at the end and see that I know what I'm doing, right? Take a look. Stay tuned. The weld here, if you build up on the backside towards the blade at all, the blade may hit. So after you tack that, you know, I left just a tiny bit more of a gap because I built up and then I ground everything back down. It's a little bit more work, but you get better penetration along all those welds, along the bottom side. If you do it that way, it's just a little bit better. Just make sure you don't build up the back too bad where the blade is hitting. Check that. Before you do any of this and you're messing with any of those blades, make sure that you remove the spark plug, obviously, anytime you're turning the blade. We didn't even mess with the blade while we were down here. If you're going to, remove the spark plug. Now, how often do you guys see this? You guys see this all the time like I do? Do you see it just very rarely? Again, I see it dozens and dozens of times a year. This is the way we fix it. We charge $85 to do that. Weld it up, grind it down, you know, make everything look good with a quick coat of spray paint. And that saves the customer from having to either A, go buy a brand new mower, B, replace the deck, which is probably the price of a brand new mower, or C, continue using it like most of them want to do, and it's dangerous. I tell everybody I won't even tune it up or anything. I don't want anything to do with it if they're not going to fix it. It's dangerous. Again, happened to my wife. It was this front piece just like this, popped right off, flew right back at her. Big old twisted, mangled piece of metal. You don't want that to happen. Let me know what you guys do to take care of this or how you take care of it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. As you can see on the bottom of this one, this is the back side and it's actually cracked here also. In order to do that, we'll probably add a little piece to the outside, throw a little weld on there. Here's our finished product. That's one good weld.